10 cool drones you can easily buy on Amazon and online. Let's talk about it. Number 10. SpiderMAV. This tiny drone was made by the Aerial Robotics Laboratory at Imperial College London. It stays stable by firing a polymer thread at a magnetic surface. The drone can get a grip on something to hang from without using its motors. This may reduce the amount of battery power it needs to function by a large amount. This is done by letting the thread hit the surface and then pulling it back in. You can imagine this being used for all sorts of weird photos, and even by spy agencies all over the world. Number 9. DJI Mavic Air2. The DJI Air2S and Autel Evo Lite Plus have taken the attention away from the Mavic Air2, which used to be our favorite drone. But don't rule it out. After all, we called it the all-arounder of drones and said it hit the sweet spot. It costs less than the Air2S and may work better for you if you don't need the Air2S's bigger 1-inch sensor. It still takes 4K 60p video, can fly for 34 minutes, and has the same 10-kilometer maximum range. You also get the same subject tracking ability as the Air2S, as well as a slightly longer flight time of 34 minutes, and a folding design that makes it easy to carry and store. We like the Air2S better because it has a bigger camera and a helpful digital zoom, but the Mavic Air 2 is still a great deal and worth looking into. Number 8. BetaFPV Cetus Pro Kit. BetaFPV is the best FPV gear for people who are just starting out. The package comes with FPV goggles, batteries, and a controller that looks like a game system for practicing on the simulator. The small drone is ready to fly when it comes. The Cetus is tough enough to keep working after most FPV crashes. Turtle mode lets it fix itself from a distance, and the 3 speeds and 3 flight modes help newbies learn. Manual/acro is the hardest to fly because you have to carefully control the speed. The easy thing is normal. Along with FPV flying sickness, the Cetus kit has 2 major problems. You can't take pictures or record video, and the battery only lasts 4 to 5 minutes per charge. There must be backup batteries. It's still the cheapest way to try FPV. Number 7. Autel Evo Lite Plus. The Air2S goes up against the Evo Lite Plus, which is the best of Autel's new Digi competitors. Its 1-inch camera can shoot 5.4K video at 30 frames per second. It can fly for 40 minutes, and its aperture can be changed from f2.8 to f11. This is better than both the Air2S and the Mavic Pro 2. The Evo Lite has 4-axis correction, but the Lite Plus has larger sensor pixels that let in more light in low light. Professional drone shooters may be put off by the fact that there are no side sensors for avoiding obstacles and that the footage is only 10-bit. In our study, we found that the Lite Plus was very flexible. Its 20-megapixel sensor is probably the best drone camera for the money, which puts it in competition with the Air2S. Number 6. Ryze Tello. The Ryze Tello is a good drone for people who have never flown before because it is easy to use, small, and cheap. Even though the Tello is cheap, it packs a punch. The battery lets it fly for a solid 13 minutes, and downward-facing light sensors let it hover in place and do a number of pre-programmed tricks. The review said that the image quality from the 5-megapixel camera on the nose was less impressive, with a limited dynamic range and obvious compression artifacts when streaming 720 HD video. Since video is sent directly to your phone, any weakening of the connection changes the frame rate. But the app is fairly simple and makes driving the Tello easy, thanks to an on-screen twin-stick arrangement that works well. The potential range is 100 meters, but 30 to 40 meters is more likely. This is not always a bad thing since the 80G Tello can be blown off course by even a light breeze. Number 5. PowerVision PowerEggX. The PowerEggX doesn't fry, it flies. With the Wizard bundle, PowerVision's flying orb can fly in the rain and land on lakes, which is not true of most drones. The plastic waterproof case lowers the image quality. But being able to work in and float on water opens up creative options. And so does modularity. The PowerEggX can be used as both a handheld gimbal camera and an AI camera that is mounted on a tripod and operated with hand gestures. In our tests, the movable arrangement took longer to set up. Even though it is small and light, it takes a few minutes to take off the protective covering, put the propeller arms in, and set up the controls. The quality of images is also bad. The PowerEggX can't compete with DJI's Mavic drones because its 12-megapixel, 2.8-inch CMOS sensor has a set aperture and fixed focus. It's also impossible to take RAW video. The PowerEggX is one of the best ways to get short, clear video clips even when the weather is bad. Number 4. DRL RacerX. The DRL RacerX can go as fast as 179.78 miles per hour, which isn't bad at all. The Guinness Book of World Records lists it as the drone with the fastest top speed. In recent years, drone technology has become cheaper and lighter, making drone racing a popular fan sport. Most drones, though, can only go about 50 miles per hour, which is fast enough for fun races, but not fast enough to compete with the fastest drones in the professional field. Number 3. TIKAD. We have all seen how the use of armed drones has grown over the past 20 years. Drones used to be used mostly for surveillance, but now they can carry high-end payloads in situations that normal aircraft can't handle. And they also have more ways to stay hidden. But it's clear that military drone technology hasn't even begun to reach its limits, let alone used up all of them. The TIKAD, which was made by Duke Robotics, is clearly trying to fill that gap. The TIKAD is a mobile base for weapons that can be attached to drones. It can be used with a wide range of automatic weapons and even a grenade launcher. This platform was made to replace boots on the ground and reduce the number of people who die in armed battles as a result. Even though this project probably won't give drone technology the bright future we all hope for, it is still an impressive feat of engineering. Number 2. FIMI X8 Mini. If you can't afford the Mini 2, the FIMI X8 Mini is a great alternative that costs less and is worth looking into. During tests, we found that it takes high-quality 4K videos with a lot of information, even though the 2.6-inch sensor limits the dynamic range a bit. The program that goes with it is a little rough around the edges, but it works well and has a number of automatic flight modes. The X8 Mini can also be charged through a USB-C cable, and its driver is stronger than the drone itself. There is also a 5.8 GHz Wi-Fi flying mode that lets you connect it straight to your phone, but the range is only 100 meters. Overall, the FIMI X8 Mini is a great Digi option that is a great deal, even though it's not quite a tech minnow because it's made by Xiaomi. Number 1. DJI Mavic 3. Looking for the smallest, most powerful drone on the market? The DJI Mavic 3 is it. This flying monster has a dual camera setup with a big 20-megapixel 4/3 sensor and a useful 162mm telephoto lens. All of this comes in a package that fits in a bag and is lighter than the model it is based on, the Mavic 2 Pro. Other improvements over its predecessor include a battery life of 46 minutes, which is about a half an hour of real flight time, and the ability to record slow-motion video in 5K 50p or 4K 120p. Upgrade to the DJI Mavic 3 Sign package to get 1 terabyte of internal storage, a high-end Digi RC Pro controller, and the ability to record in Apple ProRes 422 HQ format. 2 major firmware updates have finally given the Mavic 3 the polish and set of features we expected when it came out, making it the best camera drone on the market in terms of picture quality, but not in terms of value or portability. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for more.